talk about another match preview. This time it's for the Chorley game on Bank Holiday Monday, which is tomorrow. As you can see, I'm on my own. It's George's turn to be on holiday for a few weeks, so I think he'll be back just after the Yeovil game. So, before we go into the match preview, I just want to have a chat about yesterday's game against Ebbsfleet. Now, I didn't make it down, and obviously George didn't make it down to the game. So, judging from social media and post-match, it sounds like Notts didn't play very well, bar a 10-minute spell in the second half. Now, at the start of the game, I would have taken that draw as 2-2. And after hearing that we didn't play very well, I'd have definitely taken the 2-2 draw. I predicted a 2-1 Ebbsfleet win. Now, the reason I predicted the win was that I don't see a team that's lost every game not getting a point at least. So, I think take that poor performance, and if it can turn into a decent performance against Chorley, then it's a good point. So, I always have the mentality of get your wins at home and minimum of a draw away. So, if we beat Chorley, then that draw is a good draw. If we lose to Chorley, then it's a chance missed, isn't it? Ardley in his post-match was naming a few players and things they need to improve. So I think personally that's good. It shows he knows exactly what he's doing and he's demanding of the players. And yeah, sloppy to lose a goal just before half time, and then an own goal, which again I haven't yet seen. But overall, I would take that 2-2 and keep the unbeaten run going into 3 games, hopefully 4 on Monday. So moving on to Monday's game, Meadow Lane, the Magpies derby, both nicknamed the Magpies. Around 100 and 120 miles for Chorley fans to come, so about 2 hours. But on Bank Holiday Monday, you never know with travel disruptions. I hope to see quite a few fans down there, because we've been treated to Stockport and Wrexham fans recently who have made for a terrific atmosphere at Meadow Lane. So I really do hope we get quite a few Chorley fans down. I'm not sure how many we'll get. Moving on to last season for Chorley. So they came up from the National League North. Now they finished second, so they've had a season of winning things. They went through the horrible playoff system, made it all the way to the final against Spennymoor, and 1-1 after extra time, and then they won on penalties, which is a brilliant way to get promoted. So promoted from the National League North, finished second, and you thought, could they bring that form into the next season? They haven't really. So they're 23rd at the minute without a win. They have 4 draws and 2 defeats. So the 4 draws have been decent draws. They've got a couple of 0-0s in there, so it shows they can defend. One of their defeats was to Solihull, and it was a 6-1 defeat at home. I don't read too much into that, because it's one of those games where at that point Solihull were battering teams and really putting them under a lot of pressure, so I don't really see too much into that. And I must admit, when it comes to players to watch, I didn't have too much of a knowledge on that. So to gain a better knowledge of the Chorley players, I've asked around on social media and asked a couple of non-league fans I know, just to give me an idea of who to expect and who to watch out for Chorley. So they've picked out for me a centre-half, so Courtney Mepp and Walter. Apparently he's an athletic centre-half. He moves around the defence really well. He's got a bit of pace about him, just what I've been told, so he'll be one to definitely watch out for. I believe he's been at youth level at some Premier League teams as well, if I'm not mistaken. Next player is Josh O'Keefe. Now, I've known Josh O'Keefe from his time at Lincoln quite a few years ago. He's had Hereford roots. Now, asking around, one Hereford fan has told us that at the point where he played for Hereford and then he left, that particular season collapsed for them, just because he was that instrumental to them. So, don't know too much about him, but we'll have to watch Josh O'Keefe down at Meadow Lane tomorrow. Final player, Chris Holroyd, a striker. Now, he's got 1 in 6, and I bring the same mentality that Ebbsfleet will have had, where they haven't got any wins. 1 goal in 6 games, for me, is going to be a striker that's hungry. You can see it with Thomas and Tyson for us, but he's got a point to prove. He wants to be the hero and get the winning goal, the first goal of Chorley's campaign in the National League. So for me, a striker with a lot of goals is dangerous, and a striker with very few goals is also dangerous, because he's going to be selfish, he's going to be wanting to shoot, he's going to be wanting to get the goals, and he does have goals at this level. I mean, he's previously played for Brighton, Rotherham, Preston, but then he's also played for Wrexham. 13 goals 2 years ago in this division, 3 goals last year. I mean, it's not great, but 13 is a decent tally in National League, where it can be very tough. So they're 3 players I think are vital for Notts to watch out for on Monday's game. Okay, team news. There's not too much team news really to talk about with Notts, other than I think we should expect a few changes just because of the gap in between games. I mean, it's 48 hours or less than 48 hours when the game's finished, and also I think Notts will be possibly in today sorting out sort of formations, tactics, so it's not really a day off. And you've got some players in there like Doyle, 37, 38 years old, Thomas, 32, Turner, 30 odd, coming off the back of not really much of a pre-season. So personally, I think we'll see the spine of the team kept very much the same, and I think we'll see rotation of the wide players and possibly strikers. So that brings me into the team news and the team I would like or I would expect us to see. So I think Slocum in goal again. I think McCrory drops out, even though he's been fantastic. McCrory coming off the back of that 3-match ban from the red card and coming in and putting 2 decent performances in, especially the one against Wrexham. You couldn't really ask for much more of him, but I think he's rested for Bakayoko this time. I then think, or I would like to see, Graham and Turner at centre-half still. I don't think we will. I think we'll see one of them rested, or potentially both. The reason for Graham is that he's young and you don't want to overuse him because he has been very good for us. And the reason for Turner, as I've said, he's quite old. He's coming off the back of not much of a pre-season. Right back, I'd like Kelly Evans to be back. Failing that, I would like to see Tootle given a go if he's fit enough, but I would take Rawlinson again because I think he's been doing a decent job. So we've got an option of 3. Personally, I'd like to see Kelly Evans, but I don't know who it will be. So that's 4 at the back. I'm going to go 4 in midfield and 2 up top. So on the left, Enzio. Yes, I know he's played every game, but at the same time, he's a class player at this level, and you really do need a player like Enzio to be playing as many games as possible. If he's feeling fatigued, swap him out, but for me, he's got to start. Midfield 2, I would have Rose as 1 centre mid, purely because look at his last performance at home. Might not have been as good yesterday, but at Wrexham, for those opening 20 odd minutes, he was absolutely bossing it, wasn't he? And I'll pair him with O'Brien, I think. The reason for that is I don't think Doyle can play that many games in quick succession. So I think you rest Doyle and bring him on because the next game away at Yeovil is going to be much tougher, I believe. So I think you have O'Brien and Rose in that central midfield. And then right mid, I think you're going to go Booty, but I'd like to see Osborne come off the bench and given a chance. So Booty, obviously, has just been fantastic since playing for us, hasn't he? I think he's got to start. I think I'd like to see him and Enzio swap him around a little bit just to cause defence a bit of havoc. But, a midfield 4 of Enzio, O'Brien, Rose and Booty is at this level one of if not the best midfield 4. And then strikers, I think it'll be Dennis and Tyson. I think Thomas is 32. He's only just signed for us. He's played a lot of minutes since he's played for us, and I think now it's time for Tyson to come into the mix and show what he can do and hopefully get a goal. I think Dennis will continue. I don't think he'll drop out because now he's got his 2 goals, he's looking lively. So that would be the team that I would like to see, with potentially Osborne coming off the bench, because I really do think he's got a lot to offer, and I think if he just gets a run, I'd be tempted to play him at Meadow Lane just because it's at home, it's a nicer atmosphere for him, and just bed him in. But that's personally the team I'll go with. So I've contacted George to see what he thinks, and he's gone for a 2-0 win with a Thomas double, so that's a decent prediction. I've gone for a 3-0 win, Notts. Now this is the biggest win I've predicted of the season, and I'm going to say it's going to be an Enzio goal, a Dennis goal, and a Tyson goal. So I think Tyson's going to get off the mark. I think Enzio and Dennis are going to carry on what they've been doing for the majority of this season. So if you would like to leave a comment in the comment section below, just telling us what you think the team will be and the score prediction, that would be great, and hopefully see you down at Meadow Lane on Monday afternoon.